Hello and welcome to a special episode of Your New Jersey. I'm Lisa Marie Falbo. Today, we're coming to you from the Hanover Manor in East Hanover, where we're celebrating athletic excellence across the Garden State. We'll meet the newest inductees of the Whippany Park Regional High School and Hanover Park Regional High School Hall of Fame later on in this episode. But first, we're joined in studio by Kean University's Director of Athletics and Recreation, Kelly Williams. With an impressive career in coaching and administration, he's shaping the future of student athletes at Kean and beyond. Kelly, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Lisa. So excited to be here.
And welcome to our house. We've
Yes.
spent quite a few times at yours.
Absolutely.
And it's always a pleasure, especially when you walk in and you see the beautiful new facilities that have been implemented over the past few years. But just the energy and the vibe of that campus is just unmatched.
Well, that's really what it's about, making sure that our students and our student athletes have the best opportunities to enjoy their college experience. And a lot of that is centered around athletics. A lot of that is centered around recreation. Our students work hard in the classroom, and our student athletes do an outstanding job in the community. So it's great for them to have an opportunity to have a first-class athletic facility to practice and play in. And I think they're really enjoying it, and it's something that they're proud about as well.
You're a D3 school, and you're doing D1 things.
Yes. We're staying busy, to say the least, but that goes back to the love that I have for the student athlete experience. It is also, once again, a commitment to making sure that every student athlete has an opportunity to feel special at Kean. And when they come over to the athletic side of the campus, we want to make sure that they walk away knowing how much time we put into making sure that their experience is the best that it possibly can be.
Let's talk about the athlete side because, as I mentioned, there's been many upgrades to the campus over the past few years. What have they been?
Wow, we have started since 2020. We have really been busy. We've been able to upgrade every athletic facility on campus, including our baseball, softball, our tennis courts, as well as our football field and our swimming area as well, our aquatics center. But one of the other areas that you may not see on the main campus is our East campus, where we're one of only a few Division III schools that have a practice facility. And so we made sure that as we continue to move forward and expanding opportunities, be it recreational from an athletics point of view, we want to make sure that our students had enough space, and we had the opportunity to upgrade our practice facility. And actually, the practice facility is named after Jacqueline Towns, Carl Anthony Towns' mother, who passed away. And it's one of the most enjoyable places for our teams to practice. It's just a sense of love and energy there.
And you've attracted, because of these upgrades, major league talent
Absolutely.
that come into the area and need a place to practice.
Absolutely. So everyone calls and says, Kelly, how did you get these NBA teams or these major league teams or these professional teams to come to campus? And once again, we've been blessed to have a unbelievable facility that we are actually on the NBA's list of when teams are coming to the East, and if they're playing in that New York or Brooklyn area, they're considering Kean as a practice facility. And it is very, very exciting. And I think the highlight of where we are with our facilities as of right now is that 2 years ago, we were named as a possible practice site facility for the World Cup. Wow. So just letting the world and professional sports know what type of facilities Kean University has is really an exciting time.
Yeah, and you're churning out athletes, you're churning out future leaders and
Absolutely.
Coaches. Kean University's name is spread throughout the country, doing big, big things.
Absolutely, and I give a lot of that credit to Dr. Repalet. He has the vision to make sure that not only the athletics but the academic side is moving in the right direction and getting not only national attention but worldwide positive attention. And for us to be able to know that we have that resource, someone that supports athletics and support our students and not afraid to go out and find ways to make sure that Kean is getting positive marketing and positive eyes on it. It's really encouraging on so many levels.
You mentioned Dr. Repalet, the president of Kean University. You don't find too many presidents of universities that love athletics.
Absolutely.
that genuinely know that one hand feeds the other. And he does such a good job in integrating both worlds.
Yes, he does. And I think that goes back to he was an athlete coming out of college. He was a multi-sport athlete, be it track and basketball. So he understands the importance of making sure that the student athletes, that the athletic facilities match along with what is happening within the within the educational world and academic world of Kean. And he's unapologetic about his love for athletics. He's unapologetic about how he feels about his students and student athletes. And you'll see him around campus and having conversation and doing everything that connects with the students and student athletes, which is just an unbelievable experience.
It's unmatched. What I also love about your program is that you care, not about what they do. I mean, of course, you care about what they do on the field, but how they function off the field is so vital. And you've implemented mental health programs for your student athletes.
Yes, that was one of my first initiatives that I was so proud to implement at Kean University, being able to kind of create a mental health app for our student athletes, that when they feel in any sort of stress or if they're uncomfortable at any given time, not only physically but mentally, that they can go to an app that is monitored by our athletic training staff and our director of sports medicine. And that's something that I also wanted to make sure that that message was going to be consistent, that was a priority for me as the person in charge of that department. And that has been trickled down to our coaches. And so we've been extremely happy about what we've done. I think the students know that our athletic areas and resources, it's a safe place if they need us. And just to see the response and knowing that we care, it does my heart good.
Absolutely. Another aspect of Kean Athletics is giving back to the community.
Yes,
and your athletes are involved in so many initiatives.
Yes. One of the things that we also want to make sure that our student athletes do, because athletics is so busy, we want to make sure that they never forget that they're a student first and they're a person as well. So although they're running up and down with practices and games and traveling, we want to make sure that they are also connected to the surrounding community. So being able to make sure and being very intentional in finding ways that our student athletes are in the community, doing Thanksgiving drives and food drives and coat drives, wherever we can find a way to support the community, Lisa. That's the other part of the growth of a student-athlete experience at Kean University, the community side.
And you're bringing the community in-house too.
Yes.
We, over the fall, had an event with Nelson Mandela's grandson.
Yes, yes.
Where you bust in kids from Harlem and talk about, it was just such a cool event.
Yes. Well, first of all, just as you just mentioned, to be able to have that sort of legacy on your campus in regards of Nelson Mandela's grandson, Ndaba, and for him to be able to touch the young men and young women of our athletic staff, but more importantly, the boys and girls of the surrounding areas, be it from Harlem, be it from Elizabeth, Linden. That was a point that in Kean athletics that will be forever embedded in our mind, because you saw so many smiles that day, and his message about them never giving up and wanting to continue to move forward. I think so many of these young students walked away with a level of self-pride and now a new meaning for them to know that they're loved. And that's really what made it so special. And also to hear Ndaba's message about his grandfather's struggle and being able to have those conversations when we had our panel discussion about how important sports is to building relationships and just finding lifelong friends. And that's really what's so exciting about sports, and having that conversation with Ndaba Mandela was about.
You have had an unbelievable journey yourself.
Yes, yes.
In athletics. Talk about what led you to Kean University.
Whew. Wow. I would tell you this, my love for basketball, obviously, I played in high school, I played in college, and what led me to Kean was just my different experiences. I remember some of the heartaches, I remember some of the challenging times being a basketball player and wanting to make sure that if I ever got to a point, I wanted to turn around and give back. So I decided to become a head coach and try to impact young men and help them along their journey. And then after 20 years of coaching, I wanted to go into administration. And as a result of that, I had the opportunity to now not just impact young men, but now play a pivotal role in young women and young men's lives on so many levels. So, my journey, really just comes from some heartache, some tough times, but being able to find ways to overcome it, but also try to now help guide students and student athletes on where they need to go next, or how do they get to their potential or reach their potential. So it's been fun. It's been challenging, but it's been fun. But to be able to build so many relationships over this time, Lisa, that's really what I really like. When you walk into athletics and when you become part of sports, you never know what your day is going to look like, but you always want to know, you always have a feel of how you want it to end by making sure that you had an impact on someone that day. And that's, been kind of my mission, behind closed doors and my drive. So no, that journey all started at TCNJ, Ewing Township. And I'll tell you this, I'll give you a little bit behind the scenes stuff. I was just called and recognized that I'm now going to be inducted into the Mercer County Basketball Hall of Fame.
Oh, that's
So in
amazing.
April. So when we talk about the journey and when we talk about certain things, it all started in Ewing Township at Trenton State College and TCNJ and now Kean. It all comes together, but the overall purpose and my mission and my why was seeing how I could make individuals around me better by using sports, using basketball, and just being myself.
I love that, and congratulations.
Thank you
That's
so
such
much.
an honor. I
Yeah.
love Hall of Fame.
Yes,
so
I'm
and you
excited.
are a Hall of Fame person.
Thank
so
you. So
more
I am
to come
excited.
for you.
I am so
that way.
excited about that.
So let's talk little sports because I mentioned the same conference. So Kean, TCNJ, a lot of the Garden State universities, you play in the NJAC
Yes.
conference. Talk to us about that.
The New Jersey Athletic Conference, that just everyone knows as the NJAC, and it is the most competitive conference, in the country, especially for state institutions. What makes the NJAC so unique is that it is comprised of all state institutions. So a lot of the individuals and a lot of the talented individuals that we've been able to see throughout high school, you're going to see them in college. We have a lot of students and great student athletes that come from the state of New Jersey, and unfortunately, be it for one reason or the other, they don't always get that Division I scholarship. And the state schools in New Jersey, from a Division III point of view, is the next best thing. The competitive nature, the talent level, it makes you stay committed to the game, and it makes you extremely competitive. And that's what the NJAC conference does.
Who's your fierce rival at Kean?
Ooh, at Kean. Well, now that's a great question. It is Montclair, from what everyone tells me. Yes, so there's conversations that, hey, you're not supposed to be wearing red and those type of things. But I would say that's across all sports. Surprisingly, yes,
Wow.
it really, really is. And so the one that's the most consistent across the board.
Okay. You have brought more sports online over the past couple of years. I
Yes.
know you just launched your golf team.
Yes. So in the last 5 years that I've been in charge, we're up to 10 sports that we've added.
Wow.
And then we've continued to create opportunities for our sports teams by adding, like I said, most recently, men's and women's golf started off this fall of 2024, which was unbelievable opportunity for me as an athletic director to grow, because I didn't know a lot about golf. And now to be able to fine tune and get a chance to meet some of these student athletes that are participating in golf, it really showed us that it was a need for us to have that. It also helps broaden our opportunities for a lot of students, and it also plays a major role in marketing or spreading, having a bigger marketing footprint across the country, because not a lot of universities and a lot of states offer golf, especially from a Division III point of view. So we've been able to check off a couple of those areas by making sure that we have golf. Being able to make sure that we have a partnership with Galloping Hill, and that was just something that was really, really an exciting time to see the men and women in their cane gear and representing the university on the golf course.
It's so cool. Well, what's next for Kean University Athletics?
Well, what's next is we are launching men's and women's wrestling.
Oh.
Yes, so men's and women's wrestling will be set and ready to go fall of 2025. We've been able to identify a head coach for men's and women's wrestling, and that is one of the fastest growing sports around, especially women's wrestling. And we just came back from the NCAA convention and in Nashville in January, and women's wrestling is now going to be an NCAA championship sport that we voted on. So wow. How exciting is that? And New Jersey is a hotbed for wrestling. And I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but 3 of the top 10 teams in the country in wrestling, boys wrestling, is from the state of New Jersey.
My high school, Hanover Park.
Okay.
Big time in wrestling.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice. That's awesome. No, that's awesome. So we got an opportunity to listen to some of the the young men and young women around campus wanting to have wrestling on campus, and we felt that it was a need. And that was kind of, once again, the vision of President Repollet in regards to making sure that we continue to find sports that are trending. But I can also tell you this as well. We are also set and ready to go for women's flag football. So that is the next launch that we will have. We're going to start as early as this April with some club schedules and games that we've already solidified. So we're staying busy over at Kean, and we just want to continue to create opportunities for young men and young women.
Oh, I think everything you are doing is so beautiful.
Thank you.
And women's sports,
yes,
it's just skyrocketing.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, you're at the forefront of that trend, and there's so many teams popping up, and it's just so great. Kelly, this was so much fun. Thank you so much. Where can people find out more about the Cougars? The Cougars, you can find us on keanathletics.com. That should be your first step, and you'll be able to just follow all of our different multimedia social media platforms. Great. Thank you so much, and we'll see you on campus soon, I'm sure. Looking forward to seeing you as usual. Back here in East Hanover, we're celebrating the legacies of Whippany Park Regional High School and Hanover Park Regional High School's top athletes. Let's meet this year's Hall of Fame inductees.
Welcome to the 2025 Hanover Park, Whippany Park Combined Hall of Fame induction ceremony and dinner.
In Morris County, tradition runs deep, and nowhere is that more evident than at the Hanover Park and Whippany Park Regional High School Athletic Hall of Fame. The Hall of Fame honors the athletes, coaches, and contributors who've left a lasting mark on their schools, their sports, and their communities. This isn't about accolades. It's about community, connection, and honoring those whose commitment on and off the field shaped generations of students. Sir, how awesome is it being here tonight?
This is a great night. It's great to see people that I haven't seen in years. It's great to see people that I used to actually teach with that are being inducted. Obviously guys that I coach that are being inducted.
There's so many friends and so many memories, and tonight they just all come back to us. I didn't expect all the people that I see here tonight. I'm just really honored to be here, and I'm really honored for the award, and I appreciate everything that everybody's done.
This year's inductees span eras, sports, and generations, but they all share a common thread, a lasting impact on Hanover Park and Whippany Park. Each honoree brings a unique story of dedication, excellence, and heart. Let's hear from the class of 2025 in their own words. Coach Wendell Ware shaped the lives of countless student athletes across football, basketball, and baseball for nearly 5 decades. When you think about all of that coaching, I mean, what event, game, what stands out to you? What's your most memorable moment?
It feels good that I'm able to do what I did for so many years, and hopefully some of the things that these kids learned from me, they've been able to carry on in their lives and make an impression on them as they move on in life, and it was just a fun time with them.
Don Patterson's legacy as coach, teacher, and principal spanned decades, always centered around building character.
Seeing the smiles on their face when they do something they didn't think they could do. Those are the rewards, I think, more so than how many did you win, how many did you lose.
A softball standout, Kathleen Porter led her team to a state championship, and she returned to her hometown for the honor.
It's so nice. I mean, I haven't been back to the area in forever. I live in Boston now, and it's great to be back. It was like an amazing group of girls, great coach, and just was like so lucky to be a part of it.
12 varsity letters, multiple sports, and a legacy as a trailblazer in girls athletics. Nancy Dorn's story is one of passion and persistence.
I was just elated. There's a lot of great basketball players and softball players and tennis and soccer players from Hanover Park. So I'm very proud of, and I always tell my kids this, you know, once a Hornet, always a Hornet.
In 1980, Ken Mulligan and Charlie Roach led Whippany Park football to a league and state championship. Still one of the most celebrated seasons in school history.
It's an expression of values. Competition where everybody plays by the rules, the effort that people put in. I think it's valuable for anybody, any young person growing up.
It's also important that you put some type of success up and recognize it as a motivation for the next generations coming up, giving something hopefully they could emulate.
Frank Source is not only a Hall of Fame committee member, he was chosen to induct fellow great Kevin George and helped establish the Hall of Fame itself.
Recognizing what they did at Hanover Park or Whippany Park should be memorialized. I mean, they were the best of the best, not only in our schools, but in the state, in the country, of people that have been All-Americans, have had full college scholarships, so they just deserve it.
A two-sport star and now a Hanover Park parent, Jesse Navales' career came full circle the night he was honored.
I cannot believe we went to high school together. It does not feel like over 20 years ago, but you really were the standout athlete when I was there. So, this is such a well-deserved night.
Yeah, this is a huge honor. Hanover Park is so much a part of me. Having lived in East Hanover now, working in town, now having my daughter there as a freshman, met my wife there, so we're a Hanover Park family. This is such a huge honor. I'm so happy to be here, with all my friends and family celebrating.
Part of the legendary 1990 Hanover Park football team, and now an individual inductee, Frank Franco reflected on what makes this community unforgettable.
Well, the highlight of my football career, even though I played through college, was this team and this program that I came through. It just, there's so many friends and so many memories, and tonight they just all come back to us, and I appreciate everything that everybody's done.
I graduated HP in 2002, and 90 was still the talk then, and it's still the talk now. Just the grip you had on this town will never go away.
Yeah, well, my wife's from Oklahoma, and she's been hearing about it since, the first time she came here, It was a joke at first, but then you start to buy into it. You start to believe that, it is a family community, and your kids grow up and your friends become uncles, and it's something to be really proud of, and a lot of people say, oh man, they want to move out of their hometowns, but you'll never get what you get here.
And for one family, this year's Hall of Fame moment brought everything full circle.
Tony, you have been a guest on the show. You flew all the way from Minnesota to be here for your father tonight. Reflect on what this night means to you.
Just a lot of hard work that my dad put in, growing up, and he influenced me to want to be a coach. So it's the least I can do to show up, fly back to be here. It's a great night to see a lot of people we haven't seen, my family, and a lot of friends and people that we consider family now.
All of these guys are like brothers to you too, and they impacted you in big ways.
Yeah, looked up to them, from when I was 7 years old. The first season I remember is the 1990, season, the state championship season. And we've stayed in touch, through my dad and through them. They've come out to games wherever I've coached, and, obviously when we play on the East Coast, see them there. And honestly, stay in touch like older brothers. It's been awesome.
We'd all love to relive those days. I know I would, but we can't. But we can continue to celebrate, cherish the memories, and continue with the lifelong friendships that we have made.
Whether they broke records, built programs, or inspired generations, the 2025 Hall of Fame inductees share a legacy rooted in pride and perseverance. This night was more than a ceremony. It was a tribute to decades of dedication and a reminder that greatness begins right here at Hanover Park and Whippany Park. Thank you for joining me on another episode of Your New Jersey. I'm Lisa Marie Falbo. We'll see you back here next week.